Hey guys, Jerry Lawson here with 24 to Double, and I got my good friend Wesley Wearherford here. He's a pastor, and we are standing in front of a Cy Young Award and a Gold Glove. I mean, that's just what's happening today. This is Jake Peavy's camp, and it just happened to be that we're at a conference out here. And so Jake was in my youth group a long time ago when I was a youth pastor. Wesley, you were a youth pastor. Did that for several years. Now you're in your first senior pastor role. Been in it about 11 years. You're tearing it up for a while, hit some bumps. I happen to know you like to win.
Yeah,
okay?
Yeah,
So
I love to win. I hate to lose, which you found out last night. I hate to lose. We beat me in basketball multiple times.
Mostly with my elbows, but whatever, that's for another video. But you've won a lot in ministry. Your church has been successful, but you don't always win. So talk to pastors about what it's like to not win and get up and go again.
Yeah, I think for me, just you got to hustle. You got to be willing to hustle, and you got to be willing to lose. You got to be willing to risk. When we planted our church, we didn't have any support. We didn't have any backing. We didn't have, we had a few people that said, "Hey, we'll give you $100 a month," that kind of thing. Really started from nothing. Started from scratch in a living room, and it was a tough ride. It was a tough journey. We'd see little incremental wins, but then we'd see losses too. And I'd say probably the last 15 months for me, it's felt like one big loss after loss after loss.
Wow.
In just the sense of, you make tough decisions, you take risks that don't work out. Sometimes you take risks that work out and you look like a genius,
Right.
And then sometimes you take risks that don't work out and like you don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so I think just, having a good family support around you, making sure your marriage is right, making sure your relationship with your kids are right. For me, if I'm in a season where I feel like I'm losing as a leader, right? If I'm winning at home, then it's really good because I'm able to go home and my kids bring joy to my life, my wife brings joy to my life, even my team, even when we're losing, my team brings joy to my life.
Yeah.
And so I think that keeps you going. So building a strong team that, you love working with and having a great family life, great home life, keeping that strong, it helps you through the times where you lose.
Yeah. Well, and you have won a lot more than you've lost. Church has grown. You've seen a lot happen. But is it 11 years in?
11 years in.
So 11 years in, you're well past the honeymoon.
For sure.
You could have checked out by now, and frankly, most pastors don't stay that long. Talk about why you decide to plow on through, persevere, and fight for the next win.
Yeah, I think, we've had opportunities. Everybody gets opportunities to go and do different things, and we've had those. And, for me, it always comes back to, I don't have to hear God tell me to stay. You know what I mean? Because he put me there.
Yeah.
And until he says do something different,
You remember what he said.
I'm gonna keep doing what he said. And I think too, I just love my city. I love my city. I love my community. I love my people. And I feel passionate about the fact that God's put us there. We're on the south side of Augusta, which is kind of a gritty kind of area. And there's just not a church that's really doing some of the things that we're doing. And I don't say that boastfully because we're doing a lot of things that other people have taught us to do. So it's not anything we've figured out.
Yeah.
But I just feel like our city needs our church. And I love my city. I want to see my city, come to know Jesus. And so that keeps me there. And just the fact that God's not said do anything different until he does. And I'm just going to keep grinding.
Well, and while you're talking about that, it's not lost on me that we're at Jake Peavy's ranch here, and I've known Jake since he was in high school. He got injured a lot. And by the way, I forgot to mention there's 2 World Series trophies behind me. He won 2 World Series.
Just a couple.
Just a couple. But you know what? All great athletes, all great performers, they have to fight through. Jake had some injuries, went through some stuff. Our church has had some downtimes. And I just want to say, if you're in a downtime right now, man, just remember your calling. Remember what you love. Wesley's saying things like, I knew God said this to me, and I'm not going to finish God's sentence. I'm not going to say, well, because this isn't going out, God must be thinking that. You're not doing that. You're saying, no, God told me this is my city, this is my calling. I'm remembering my family. I'm remembering how valuable they are to me. And it sounds like you really love your community, and you know that your church has a place in there.
Yeah.
And they've got to do something. I just say this, like, you do find that there are some areas that you really win at, and some areas that you just struggle at. And I think you have to find pastors like, what's your niche? Don't be like every other church. And don't go out here and try to be like Wesley. Don't try to be like my church. Find out what is unique and great and special about your church. And the only way you find that out is You know, if you thought you were a home run hitter and you kept striking out, then all of a sudden you hit a bunch of base hits. You got to kind of know that's what you do. You're a base hitter. So maybe that's a little wisdom for you guys. Thank you, Wesley, for your time. And I just want to say, guys, if you want to know more about 24 to Double, you can go to 24trial.com. We have a 24-month process. It teaches you systems for church health and church growth. I'd love to get to know you a little better and just maybe add more value to your church growth system. So go over there, 24trial.com. Look forward to seeing you there.